thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, the payments to regularize the line staff payment of the public service happened today, but it's the response of those workers that's making news tonight. Some say the lump sum amount is pittance. We get into it. Also, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis is saying the F&M is wounded by 2 straight losses, and tonight, Dr. Minnis questions the party's readiness for the general election. Also, it's Wednesday, and that means temperature check. That's right, you know the new series here on this show, straight until the general election. And so tonight, which constituency are we looking at? Fox Hill. Buckle up. That's right. Listen, also, we're going to have a look at the 3 candidates and their footprint throughout the Fox Hill constituency. That's all coming up for you this evening. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, Christmas came early for civil servants today. The government made good on its promises of an increase in the increments, but unions who pounded the pavement due to the delay say it's mere pittance than what they were expecting. Delano Roca has the story, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
That was the message from public servants last month, who took to the streets agitating for government to pay up on what was promised. After assurances from Prime Minister Philip Davis, it was money in the bank today for thousands, according to Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator Michael Halkitis.
They have been paid today, and this is money that is added to their salary, not just a lump sum.
A major source of tension for public servants was the decision to issue earlier payments to middle management. Minister Halkitis clarified that the move was not based on preference or performance, but practicality.
It's not a matter of just giving someone a one-time lump sum where you can just say, okay, we'll give everybody a lump sum and that's it. It's actually seeing what the salary is, applying the appropriate percentage, and making sure that each individual gets what is coming to them and what they deserve. And so that process took a little longer. It's no malice or no ill intent or anything. It's just a matter of having to deal with thousands and thousands of people and ensuring that everything is done correctly.
But Bahamas Union of Teachers President and National Alliance Trade Union Congress, Belinda Wilson, blasting the payout today, dismissing it as a slap in the face for workers.
Civil servants received crumbs from Prime Minister Davis's table in the amounts of $150, $200, $341, respectively, and others said they received nothing. 0. We are unsure as to how they arrived at these amounts based on calculations between 2% to 8%, especially after being aware that other civil servants received $3,000 and up, as they were paid all of their monies retroactive to September.
And while frustrations persist over the rising cost of living, Halkitis says the government's debt reduction strategy is slowly creating space, he says, that can eventually support larger increases for the country's workforce.
We are now in the region of 73% debt to GDP. Of course, it fluctuates. Our goal is by 2030, 2031 to have that around 50%, and so continue to reduce that. 4 years ago, it was in the region of 100%, which was very, very elevated, and so we've gradually brought it down. And, we'll continue to conduct reviews and improve, salaries and benefits as we're able to do so.
And Wilson is not backing down, warning that an ongoing poll of union members will determine whether the union moves to retaliate against the government. Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
Well, this evening, that topic obviously just making headlines again, and it's one that nobody can quite make sense of. It's what started as an effort, as far as I understand it, and everyone else, to regularize and make good on public servant salaries, particularly those at the lower levels, and their salary scales at the lower levels in the public service. Remember now, it's unlike quasi-government operations and corporations where they make healthy salaries. In the public service proper, the salaries are much to be desired. And this, as far as I understand it, as we talked about some months ago, was the effort and the intention to be able to get those people up at some point. Imagine the cost of living has continued to spike and hover around historic levels. The other things, grocery and all the rest of it. And so this was an attempt to at least add to the base of salaries so that those people can feel a little less burden. Well, the people today say it's pittance. What do my panelists think? Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Beyond the Headlines contributors, Peggy Candace and Gabrielle McKinsey-Anius. Good evening to both of you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. I know we're going to be joined by Howard Johnson in a little bit, but ladies, good evening to both of you.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to be here. I know it's going to be a great time and a great show. Can't wait to get into it with you tonight.
Getting into a whole lot. But ladies, let's jump right in, shall we? The public service say, listen, I guess with their union members, union leaders as well. What's up? Listen, we waited for this. This is the salary adjustment. Your thoughts on their response? I understand the actual increase takes effect next month. But your response to what they got today and their reaction to it?
I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. I think this comes when you don't give the information that they were asking for. I think if they had sent the list of persons that would be receiving the funds and how much they would get, they wouldn't be caught by such a surprise. I think they were misguided in what they thought they were getting. And clearly, they didn't get what they thought they were getting. A lot of them thought that they would be getting this lump sum amount payment, which was not the case. A lot of them, and Miss Belinda Wilson and Mr. Kimsley Ferguson was agitating for back payment up to September 2024, which was not confirmed by the Prime Minister if that would happen. So now that they're seeing what they got, it was retroactive to only September 2025. So I mean, I'm just not surprised.
Well, Shanique, I'm not surprised for a different reason because I understood that it would be retroactive to September 2025. I believe Ms. Belinda Wilson and Kingsley had a responsibility to explain properly instead of storing up their members, to educate them. And I don't know if it is permissible for the government to give somebody a payout amount or a listing of the amount, confidential information.
They released the upper scale level. They released the document of the persons who would have been paid. The union representatives, part of their negotiation, their bargaining agreement, is for them to give that information to their members. Ms. Belinda Wilson and Mr. Kimsley Ferguson would have been there where they delivered a letter to the office of the Prime Minister where they awaited that information post their demonstration down on Bay Street. Now, from my sources, they would not have received an answer to that as yet. So they were not able to educate Ms. Candice. They were not able to educate their members on, hey, it's only going to be retroactive to September, and you either fall on the 2% scale, you fall on the 3, 4, up to 8% scale. That information they still awaited. So now they're just seeing the additional onto their salary and asking Well, what's this?
But if you make a certain amount, firstly, I don't have no inside source, so I knew that it would be retroactive September 25 because that information was made public. I also knew that it was an administrative delay because the Prime Minister said that publicly. But personally, if you make so much money annually and 2% of that, I mean, do those calculations. You don't need a Belinda. You don't need nobody else to take your phone or your calculator and say 2% of what I make annually is this amount divided by 12.
But at the very least, what the union leaders ought to do is have taken that information that you just explained, Peggy, because I understood it almost from the beginning. It became confusing when those leaders began pushing back and say, hey, listen, this is our membership. What y'all trying to do? Up us? You're trying to like show us up? And then they said, well, we need a list and we need the names, what they're going to get. Whereas it started off again as just outside of the unions. Let me ensure that public servants, particularly those at a lower level, Howard Johnson, that they are given some sort of extra addition to their base salaries. These are people who perhaps have never had this done, and I am told for well over a decade have not had this adjustment made, and so they have been trying to feel their way through all of this, all of the inflation and the cost of living in the Bahamas. They've been trying to feel their way through that, and here it is. This sort of just like, hey, here's a little extra, was turned into something that could have been easily explained. Who should have explained it? I don't know. Should the public service explain it? Should an addition? Should their union leaders have come and further add to it? Your human resources have told them and said, "Listen, this is what it is."
Shanique, like I said previously, if you make this amount, 2% of this divided, like for instance, they keep throwing this figure, $3,000. If $3,000 is added to your annual salary, that's $250 a month extra. So when you throw out $350. I mean, 2,000. It sounds like, oh my God, they get babes. They're getting $250 additional. Yes. So when you get $120 a month additional, you $1,440 will add it to your base salary. But those things could be explained if individuals were not storing up.
Stop keeping people conveniently dumb.
No, they want to be done.
Stop it. That's the thing. They announced it from May in the House of Assembly. I think this is where it started. You said in May, and this is going to be, this is going to come into effect during the June period, right? Mm-hmm. So you announced this. You made this grandiose announcement to these persons. You didn't specify that these said we're going to get paid and the next said we're going to get paid. Yeah. So you made this announcement. Anything you say on the people's floor, the people who you represent that send you to the House of Assembly, it then becomes, everybody's asking how it becomes the union's business because you made an announcement from there. So now,
Howard, you jump in. You jump into
Howard can be able, may be able to speak to this. From you make that announcement on the floor of the House of Assembly, you invite that type of chaos?
Manufactured chaos? That was the invitation?
You invited. You invited.
Chaos.
I don't think you invited.
That's what Belinda
invited the intentional misleading. I think, for example, if this is not a unionized environment, I worked in one before, and if the management of the place I worked before said that they would give the staff, and I think they perhaps would have done so once or twice, that is outside any union bargaining agreement. It is. Where the unions, it's an offering, it's a gift, and you're happy for it because then that's in addition to what your bargaining unit already has made provision for. Howard, good evening to you and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, ladies, and good evening, Bahamas. Well, I see this topic is getting interesting, and I know we've dissected this a bit in the past. And I know this story just dropped like a little late, so I tried to look at it and see what's going on. My contribution to this topic is not going to be anything to do with politics, but it's going to be national. And so I'm going to look at it from a big macro perspective. The issue here is, in the Bahamas, when it comes to anything related to union and government, it seems as if everything is cast in a win-lose, right? I don't know why we don't try to get things to a win-win. Why can't the union win and why can't the government win? The Prime Minister has a big salary, he makes a lot of money, he makes the big bucks, and so does Belinda. Work in the best interest of your members, work in the best interest of your citizens. Come to the table. Now, what I will say about it that I've seen already is basically two things. The first thing is I see that Ms. Wilson started out her remarks. I was able to listen to them saying that the Prime Minister gave her members crumbs from his table. This language is unhelpful. It is very unhelpful when you are dealing with negotiations and when you are advocating on behalf of your members. The second thing is, Ms. Belinda, at the end of her remarks that I saw on Eyewitness News, said that she is going to conduct a member poll of her members. Well, by saying at the beginning that the Prime Minister is giving crumbs from his table, you are already prejudicing the pool of people. That poll would more than likely result in the members wanting to take industrial action, because when Ms. Wilson used language like crumbs from his table, that is prejudicing that pool of members
But it's
to
what our
start
members
with.
text
So
it
she's
up.
creating that environment, and I do not think that this is helpful at this time.
What I don't feel is though this here, it is almost like, you know, I spoke with a former labor minister and they said, Shanique, this is why it was attempted just in pockets, but this overall broad sweeping adjustments and address of public servant salary in the public service proper has never been attempted, because to avoid just this right here, to want to do a good deed. And I think it was under the Ingram administration that it was done in pockets at various ministries or perhaps groupings of ministries, but certainly not overall, just to avoid this right here. Because the thing is, once again, if I go to Hermes and I buy you a wallet, but you figure I should have gone and get you the $100,000+ bag, then what the dickens? You slapping my gift in the face? I just wondering.
What if we have an agreement, Shanique, again?
What is the agreement? There is no agreement.
They have bargaining agreements, and this government has definitely touted the amount of agreements that they've signed.
They have.
And one of the clauses in those agreements is if you're going to make any adjustments to it that affects any of their members' salary scales, that is what I was trying to say earlier. It came back to me. That is where the union has to get involved now on behalf of their members.
The union
so when
cannot,
it's a good
the union,
thing,
it is a good thing, and the
or a
union
bad
cannot
thing,
see it as a
they
one-off
have
thing.
to-
The
they have
union
to get
cannot see it
according to the agreement the government
Gabrielle,
signed.
thanks. Gabrielle, if you open your mouth over me as I speak. The union cannot play around and see it as Philip Brave Davis trying to one-up them, or Michael Halkias, or whomever it is. When the union has to
That is
flex
not
its
helpful.
muscles, it isn't.
competitive.
When the union has to flex its muscles, go on and flex it. Go on and represent your membership. But for them to get this extra onto what's been agreed and what's perhaps
Yes,
coming at the
it
end of
is
this year,
extra.
or
Yep.
whenever those increments and those wonderful things are, let that happen as well. That means your members are benefiting all the more. Just simple as that. These people who've been working in the public service for eons and salaries remain this small deserve this extra boost. Don't you want
They
them to
do
have
that.
it?
But
They do
it
deserve
is
it.
not
They
being
deserve it.
portrayed as an extra boost. It's like she said, crumbs. And like Howard said, it is not beneficial and it is not intended to come.
Peggy, if you represent me, if you are my representative, if I hired you and I say, Peggy, I need you to represent me on this situation, and I text
It is
you
my
and I say,
responsibility to be responsible in my response to you.
This is what I'm saying. This is what my members are saying. So I'm not going to pretty it up because it makes you feel good inside and butter it up. When my members are texting me frustrated, they're texting me, they
Because
probably
you
said,
frustrate
but
them.
they probably
Your
said
words
worse than
frustrated them.
crumbs. They probably said worse than crumbs because I don't even think crumbs is a bad
your
word.
words frustrated them. You're getting what you feed them. That's the response you conjure up.
I have no problem with Ms. Wilson and Mr. Ferguson or any other union leader representing their union, specifically as it relates to what is penned in industrial agreements and in collective bargaining agreements. But when you are talking about gifts, why are we taking industrial action and why are we trying to control the narrative, the amounts, and anything else as
Because
it
there's no
relates
such
to
thing as a
gifts
gift when
that
it
are
comes to their
outside of
salary.
the purview of these agreements.
It's no such thing as a gift when it comes to these persons' salary.
You bet
Yes,
there's
the
no
Prime
such thing.
Minister
They've been waiting,
decided
Gabrielle,
to do it out of the goodness, out of
they've
his
been
heart,
waiting on
Shanique.
something
But it's
like
not
this.
a such
They
thing
have
as a
been
gift.
waiting outside of what the union provides in terms of its negotiations and the bargaining agreement. They've been waiting on something like this for ages. Some people in the public service don't even make 20,000, 30,000. And they've been there for years. Now, of course, that's the level they work at. Nobody can give you a free gift if that's where you are. What I'm saying,
extra.
though,
I'd say extra. I'd take that back.
It's a gift.
It's awesome.
Extra.
It is
Extra.
awesome to have that addition onto your base salary because that can help you make ends meet just a little easier. It's all. And then to add it on to what the union provides in terms of the union agreements, man, that's just excellent.
Because that's the message that was not properly told. That this is not something that was negotiated by the union. This was something that was offered by
that's what she
the
said.
government.
She said it wasn't negotiated.
She muddied the water. It's like somebody had to squeeze some mop to
She
get it out of
said
pot.
that no, this was not negotiated, and I keep trying to go back. Miss Wilson, I heard her say that the reason she got involved is because according to their bargaining agreement, anything once even in a good way, if it affects the salaries of her members, she has to be involved.
Yeah, but you don't make it messy. She made it messy, unnecessarily.
As the former labor minister said, this is why we have just honored the bargaining agreements.
And not additional.
Because when you try to do this is what happens. A whole chicken fight and the chicken coop would have a bunch of holes in it. Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says the Free National Movement is moving into the 2026 general election. Let's go, you all. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. At a disadvantage and limping along after what he says is wrongly contesting the West, Grand Bahama and Bimini and Golden Isles by-elections. Now, panel, the former Prime Minister has been quiet all this by-election. He says intentionally so. He said he removed himself, he said. I want to ask your thoughts about the mouthful he said today with regards to the F&M and the position they now find themselves in.
It's a clip?
There is no clip. Quickly.
Okay, I'm sorry. The last line of what I heard him said is that he agreed with the former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram's assessment that it was a bad idea. Ingram came forward and said that he advised them not to. I recall correctly when the first talk began after the late Maureen Miller's death announcement, Michael Pintard, leader of the Free National Movement, said, let's go to a general. Why even bother with a by-election? It will be very expensive to do a by-election with generals right around the corner. So I think he was lining up with the former Prime Minister Ingram's advice. And at the very last moment, he said, okay, yes, we're going forward with a candidate. It is proven to be the advice of Hubert Ingram is proven to be correct when you look at the resources and when you look at the outcome. Was it a good idea? I don't think it was.
I want to start off by saying, name one by-election that Ingram didn't go into. The thing about this is the F&M is in a competition. It is a political competition. And if you don't enter the race, someone else will, and they might just take your place. So you ought to always be ready. So while the former Prime Minister's point may have had some validity to them in terms of the resources it would take, we know this. The fact of the matter is the Free National Movement as the official opposition is the Progressive Liberals Party competition. So whether it's a by-election or an election call, you got to be ready to put your boots on the ground. And that's the way it is.
I feel the Free National Movement had no choice.
They didn't have a choice.
It had to show up to the fight because if it didn't, then the discussion would have been different. Now, when we come back, remember this is temperature check. Remember, and I want D'Angelo and I want every chance, Eric, everybody in the back there to know what time we started because we have to get through tonight. But when we come back, guess who's speaking out, y'all? Former Deputy Prime Minister, Brent Simonet. He says to Minnis, we'll have several seats. We'll talk about that when we come back right after the break.
Welcome to Sunburst Super Christmas Sale. where you buy 5 and get 1 free. Prices start at just $28.95 for top quality wall paints and high gloss oil paints for $55.95 a gallon. Lucky customers get a chance to win a 42-inch TV every Saturday starting now. The drawing will take place at Sunburst Paints the first week of December. You can also have a chance to win one of 2 65-inch TVs during the month of December. So hurry on down to Sunburst Paints on Harold Road, where you buy 5 and get 1 free. Happy holidays, everybody!
Get ready, Grand Bahama. It's the Black Friday deal you've waited all year for. This Friday, November 28th, Grand Bahama Tiles is dropping a 26% off store-wide sale. That's all tiles, all materials, 26% off. It's one day with huge savings and the perfect time to stock up and save big. So don't walk, run to catch this one-day Black Friday sale. Call 352-7920.
Crossing the Sicily Poitier Bridge just got easier. Now you can pay your bridge tolls using debit or credit cards.
No more searching for cash.
Just tap and go. Quick, secure, and easy.
Modern convenience, same trusted service from the Bridge Authority.
It's Christmas time at Grand Bahama Tiles with 5 days of savings you don't want to miss. Starting this Saturday, November 29th, get 25% off all tiles in stock. Then on Monday, December 1st, savings drop to 24% off. Ending Thursday, December 4th with 21% off. The early bird really catches the worm this Christmas as savings drop each day. Hurry down for early Christmas savings at Grand Bahama Tiles. Call them at 352-7920.
Then to get sassy, so you ain't gonna bring in this yard.
Let's go drive. Vincent, man, you know how much coconut I got in steel, man. Let's go.
Instead.
Boy, you lock up. Sergeant.
Instead, who is sassy, so?
They tell me I can borrow sassy, so the sassy, so.
Sarge, I ain't telling you you can touch my boat.
Everybody lock up. Best of the best is back on Monaco Foreshore from December 4th to December 7th, so I can see you there.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We're going to quickly just wrap up this segment very, very quickly. Listen, ladies, and of course you, Howard. Brent Simonet is responding to Dr. Minnis, saying, Dr. Minnis, you ain't got no say in this. Like, where you just come from. Your thoughts about this? I mean, and he's saying, Dr. Minnis, go into retirement. Why is he calling for Dr. Minnis to retire, you all think?
To look bad like him. Come, Dr. Minnis, come over and retire and look shabby like me.
Listen to me.
That's what I wanted to say, Shanique. Dr. Minnis and former Prime Minister Ingram, right? I noticed their remarks where they said the F&M should probably not have contested these 2 by-elections. And I found that very interesting. Former Prime Minister Ingram was Prime Minister of the Bahamas 3 times. Mm-hmm. And I believe that he enjoyed upwards of 90% voter turnout when he won those 3 elections. The election that brought Dr. Minnis into office in 2017, I am sure that was over 85 to 90% voter turnout. And each of those prime ministers would have encouraged people to get out to vote. They wanted a high turnout because a high turnout gives strength to your mandate to govern, right? And it's consistent with the democratic ideals that underpin our system. How then can you say, after going through all of that, you're now saying, remove those democratic principles that underscore our system and don't let candidates run in a general election? I find that very hypocritical. And no disrespect to both former prime ministers. I sat at their feet and I revere them. But they are wrong on this night, because on the one hand, you cannot expect for the democracy to work when you are running for office and you want everybody to show up. But then you tell the political party, don't let your candidate run. There's something fundamentally wrong with that.
I agree. The Free National Movement had to have a candidate in the Golden Isles by-election. I mean, otherwise they would have been minced meat this evening. And so listen, let's move along, you all. Welcome to Temperature Check. This week, we're looking at the Fox Hill constituency. Now, you all, this is our third week. You all kind of get an idea of exactly what Temperature Check is now. And it's where we kind of give a temperature check on the constituencies where the candidates stand now. Now, there are some constituencies we revisit because it's the first bunch. Others will sort of have gotten their rhythm already by the time we get to them. So these ones deserve a revisit. However, let's move forward, right? Now, let's begin, Peggy, Gabrielle, and Howard, with the ratified candidates. There are three right now. The Coalition of Independents, Bob Brown, the Free National Movement's Dr. Nicholas Fox, and the Progressive Liberal Party's and incumbent Fred Mitchell. Let's jump in, you all, with the COI's candidate, Bob Brown. What have you all been able to discover about Bob Brown? How is he resonating in Fox Hill? How has he been able to make it? And there's Bob Brown right there. How has he been able to make his presence felt? And what is he doing that's sort of getting attention and drawn towards him and pulling attention towards him, rather, in Fox Hill?
If you notice, Shanique, Mr. Robert Brown, Robert is his name. He was one of the hardest persons to find. If you notice, it's not a picture of him in a ratified garments. It's a casual picture, because finding Mr. Brown on social media, Facebook in particular, was a difficult task, because like other COI candidates, they are not putting themselves out there. As a matter of fact, his profile name on Facebook is Bob. His real name is Robert. And I Google and I search and to come across this individual, because they didn't put out a picture of him like others for Fox Hill. Mr. Brown, first I found out, was a natural resident of Fox Hill. He's a Foxhillian. He's now a pastor, and he was a bodybuilder. But and he did several presentations during Fox Hill festivals, recognizing different athletes. But as of I'm a candidate.
He's had some sort of community effort in Fox Hill.
But before becoming a candidate, as a candidate, I've seen nothing on a social media platform, Facebook in particular, about his work as a candidate within the community. And so, once again, COI candidates are falling short of promoting who they are and what they are about in their constituencies.
I'll give Bob a break, because I realized that he was recently ratified. He was one of the latter ones to be ratified for the COI. So I did do my due diligence. I actually drove into Fox Hill. I love to go down to the Water Nose. Drove in there. Oh, that is all right. I mean, you gotta be where the people is go. You gotta go where the church. You gotta go where the people is go to get the real.
Go ahead, Sarah.
The real information, okay?
We accept the explanation.
So I went down, and I talked to a few Fox Hillians, and I just asked them, before I even mention a candidate's name, I always start off by asking, do you know who the candidates are that are running for this area? Of course, everybody knows who the Progressive Liberal Party has sent member of parliament, the Free National Movement's candidate. When we get to him, we'll talk about that. And then they thought, I said, what about the COI? What about the COI? I don't think they have a candidate yet, is what everyone is saying. But then I said, no, the candidate is R, because I had found out too that his name isn't Bob. It's R Brown. They call him Bob. I mean, all sorts of people have names. People call Brave, the Prime Minister Brave. So we'll call him R Bob Brown. So R Bob Brown, he's known for Fox Hill because he has roots there. Yeah. But in terms of getting started, his engine hasn't really read up yet. He doesn't have an office down there where that persons know of. They weren't able to direct me to any additional activities since he's became a candidate. He does, however, he's been heavily involved in sports, bodybuilding, things, programs with young men prior to his COI nomination. So that's the information. That's all I got for you. The people tell me it. I ain't say it. The people say it.
Yeah, Shanique, I understand where Gabby is coming from about Mr. Brown being ratified. I think about 4 to 5 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I saw that in doing my due diligence as well. However, I'm not going to excuse Mr. Brown because when you get ratified, that is the time for you to get on the ground and start making that initial push when that wind is under your sails, so to speak. And so Mr. Brown should have gotten on the ground right after the nomination. Beyond that, I did not find a social media footprint for him. I saw some of the community work that Peggy mentioned on someone else's Facebook page with Mr. Brown, right? Several things with him, with the athletes, him inspecting the exposed roof of someone's house, and all of the blurbs and the narratives surrounding his community work. But I was unable to find any post-ratification footprint for Mr. Brown in Fox Hill. And the 7 persons that I would have spoken to for this segment tonight have said that they have not seen Mr. Brown. All of them had heard that there was a candidate for the COI, but they had not seen that organized campaign team on the ground with Mr. Brown in their areas.
Bob Brown is born in Fox Hill, I guess, so he started his formative years there. He is an IT specialist. And of course he is a fitness enthusiast, or used to be, not sure what he does now, but that is something that I was able to glean.
Bob the Builder.
No, he competed. He competed. He competed. Yeah, and he's a fitness enthusiast.
And it's Peggy, what you always laughing about?
I don't know what Peggy.
Bob the Builder.
If you laugh one more time,
all these things you could call him, you can Bob the Builder.
If
Not
you
Body
laugh
Builder.
one more time. By the way, speaking of you all, Eric, bring up this gentleman who's dancing with his supporters. Go ahead.
I never knew love like this before. Now I'm lonely nevermore. Since you came into my life, you are my love like the sun, and I'll never let you go. You're my all, of me. Once I was lost and now found, and it turned my world around. When I need, I call your name.
Listen, thank you so much. There's a gentleman who says, "What the fox?" Listen, if you're someone who's this, by the way, the Free National Movement's candidate in the Fox Hill constituency, Dr. Nicholas Fox, he is played on that. In his last name, he's played on that. What the fox? He is there dancing. I thought that was AI for a moment because I didn't know he had that kind of move in him. But he's been there.
Angus beef, baby. Angus beef.
What have you, Gabrielle, jump right in. What have you all been able to find out and see about Dr. Nicholas Fox?
I mean, as you can see, the energy from Dr. Nicholas Fox is extremely high down there in Fox Hill. He is amassing an enormous following quickly. I don't know if it's just because of his charisma, if it's because of his uniqueness, his nerve, or his talent. But down there in Fox Hill, he is building up a following, whether it's through his after-school lunch program twice a week, through all of the other community activities that he's been doing. He's been on the ground, door to door, just about every day in Fox Hill. Matter of fact, I think 95% of the residents that I spoke to where I did visit in Fox Hill said that he has already been to their doors. And this was a random sampling of persons. So clearly, he's making his rounds down there. He's making his presence felt during the time when it was the tropical storm passing. He was there with his son. I mean, they were digging out the drains. They were getting down and dirty, and he has some waters running down there in Fox Hill, and I ain't talking about the faucets in the ground.
But Dr. Fox, I'll have to quote Dr. Fox. Dr. Fox said that he is the most popular candidate of the Free National Movement, and I must agree with him. About his followers, it goes beyond Fox Hill. I mean, he has a growing...
Show the socks, Eric. Show the
even
socks.
his
Go ahead,
socks
Peggy.
went viral. You know, he has a great following on social medias, TikTok, and he's also doing the work when you look
What is he doing, though? Besides the fun, what is he doing, and how has he been resonating?
He has a strong social media presence. We saw him delivering fans and ACs and just getting involved in community, not to mention his medical practice is in Fox Hill.
Free medical
services. So he is known for being very available for Fox Hillian, and he has a great reputation with them. See, they're Fox sake.
For Fox's sake.
For Fox's sake.
I tell you.
Yes.
Just
And
he's
he's amazing for this political season. He brings the temperature down and lots of laughter, lots of entertainment, but you also see his approach to campaigning.
Very different.
Yeah.
And what he is showing, I think he's leading the way, is a few of them are getting it right in terms of marrying social media with their political footprints out there this election season. And that is why we kind of, on this show, I've decided I'm going to highlight some of those who are doing this, because this is quite frankly the new way to campaign.
Yes.
Yes, you've got to get out there and touch hands and say hello and all the rest of it. But this right here is hugely impactful and gets you incredible mileage. Howard, your thoughts, and what have you been able to find out about Dr. Fox, the Free National Movement candidate?
What I'm going to say, first of all, is if politics doesn't work out for Dr. Fox and he doesn't win the seat, there's always Dancing with the Stars. I think he'll do great on that show. But beyond that, Shanique, Dr. Fox has just landed on the political scene and has taken it by storm. The gentleman appears to be a very warm, approachable, likable gentleman, and he seems to be very authentic and genuine. And that is being parlayed into all of the love that he has been getting on social media. I mean, he has that presence and he has that energy, like Peggy said. Now, he has been working in the community. Dr. Fox, that after-school lunch program, that about all that controversial hot dog talk between him and his opponent some weeks ago. I saw on his social media that he had a prayer vigil recently to support breast cancer. He's always on the ground with his team campaigning, like we saw in the video where they were dancing. And all of the voters that I spoke with in Fox Hill, the 7 of them, said that they had seen Dr. Fox and his team on the ground campaigning to them. As my colleagues mentioned, the free clinics, what I loved that I've seen that really touched me was the Fox Hill Senior Citizens Birthday Club, where Dr. Fox and his team would go to the elderly residents, 92-year-old, I've seen 92-year-old great-grandmothers and stuff, just surprised and elated that he showed up there with these beautiful birthday cakes in the front of their grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Very touching moments, you know? And he's also been supporting other candidates. And then with the drains, he was out there in his booth several months ago, clearing drains with his people. So Dr. Fox has been maintaining a presence, I mean, since he's been ratified and as a staple in that community even before. So he is out there and he's working.
Well, listen, of course, this is Temperature Check, and I'll tell you what we do. We do the work. My panelists, they go in, they speak, some even physically go in. Many, of course, pick up the phone and call randomly, just residents of any constituency, to hear from them and their authentic and organic thoughts about the ratified candidates in their area. Of course, tonight it's Fox Hill, but when we come back, we will look at the incumbent, Fred Mitchell. How is he resonating? What is Fred Mitchell doing? Is Fred Mitchell working? Is he sort of responding in terms of effort to this hype that is Dr. Nicholas Fox? We're going to talk about that here on Beyond the Headlines. It's Temperature Check. We're back right after this break.
Christmas time at Grand Bahama Tiles with 5 days of savings you don't want to miss. Starting this Saturday, November 29th, get 25% off all tiles in stock. Then on Monday, December 1st, savings drop to 24% off, ending Thursday, December 4th with 21% off. The early bird really catches the worm this Christmas as savings drop each day. Hurry down for early Christmas savings at Grand Bahama Tiles. Call them at 352-7920.
Running out of space? We've got room for that. Welcome to Skyline Storage, your trusted self-storage solution. Skyline Storage offers units from 5x10 to 10x30, climate-controlled or standard dry. Perfect for home or business. Located in Westfield Commerce Park, Western New Providence. Your belongings stay safe with gated access and 24/7 surveillance starting at $175 a month. Reserve, pay, and move in online. No phone calls, no paperwork. Visit SkylineStorage.com. Skyline Storage. Storage made simple.
Get ready, Grand Bahama. It's the Black Friday deal you've waited all year for. This Friday, November 28th, Grand Bahama Tiles is dropping a 26% off store-wide sale. That's all tiles, all materials, 26% off. It's one day with huge savings and the perfect time to stock up and save big. So don't walk, run to catch this one-day Black Friday sale. Call 352-7920.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
It's Christmas time at Grand Bahama Tiles with 5 days of savings you don't want to miss. Starting this Saturday, November 29th, get 25% off all tiles in stock. Then on Monday, December 1st, savings drop to 24% off, ending Thursday, December 4th with 21% off. The early bird really catches the worm this Christmas as savings drop each day. Hurry down for early Christmas savings at Grand Bahama Tiles. Call them at 352-7920.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's temperature check. You know, Wednesdays, this is what we do in the lead up to the general election. We will the minimum 39 constituencies, perhaps that number will increase, but we're going to look at all of the candidates in each constituency, whether they be independent, whether they belong to a political organization, and we are going to gauge the temperature as it relates to them, so that you, number one, can perhaps find out what you did not know, make up your mind about somebody, or give someone a second look. And so, of course, this night, we are focusing in on Fox Hill. If you're just joining us, go watch this broadcast again because you missed a lot. We are now going to turn our attention to the incumbent, the Progressive Liberal Party's candidate, Fred Mitchell. Fred Mitchell, a statesman, truly, I mean, through and through, to the point that when in this discussion, I'm going to see if the others perhaps bring up the fact that, well, first of all, I want to know what they found out, because if you look at it, you see Dr. Fox is just trending left, right, and then center. And so you would wonder, whoa, wait a minute, Mr. Mitchell, or are you just going to sit by? So listen, let's jump in quickly, you all. What have you all found out about this incumbent who has been quite successful, enjoys a very successful political career? as Member of Parliament, as statesman, and of course, Cabinet Minister. What have you all been able to find out, though, about him in this dispensation of elections?
Well, Mr. Mitchell has had more than a successful political career. He's had a successful relationship with the people of Fox Hill. Some absolutely love him. And there's no bigger footprint on social media than Mr. Mitchell, I tell you that. Funerals, weddings, school events, everything.
Now, I know he's not a Dr. Fox to dance and to have to play on words, but his social media, talk about that, because I've been wondering about his social media presence.
He's been smart enough over the years to capture most things on social media. Most events he show up to, and I was amazed. You look at his persona and you think, he don't socialize, but yes, he does. When it comes to Fox Hill and everything Fox Hill, Mr. Mitchell appears to be present. I don't know how he do it. He shows up to, like Dr. Fox, personal events. He shows up. He showed up to a wedding where he just walk in because he's one of the family when it comes to Fox Hill resident. He has had a long history of being there, even at the most tragic events. Mr. Fred Mitchell showed up to be with the family, and they've had many in Fox Hill. Every social gathering, community gathering, Mr. Mitchell has been there. And so I don't know what else.
So he is still very active and present.
Very active, very present. And probably besides that AI motorbike thingy,
listen, I wish you. By the way, do you all have that motorcycle with Fred Mitchell getting on that motorcycle recently? Yes. Do you all even have that? Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Listen, I concur with your sentiment, Shanique, that Fred Mitchell is definitely a statesman through and through. He is anytime I get the opportunity to speak on Fred Mitchell, I always applaud his political mind. I absolutely admire it. Fred Mitchell, the way that he thinks and processes politics is like no one else. Make no mistake about it. I think Fred Mitchell is absolutely a political animal. He is a political animal. So no matter what you think or have to say, he knows how to get the job done, and he's going to fight to the finish. He's been in Fox Hill, according to persons I have surveyed. And I do follow his minute-by-minute page, of course. Minute-by-minute Mitchell, of course I'm going to follow him. And he does post everything, whether it's a funeral, a wedding, a shower, whatever he's attending. He has a presence. He has a presence there. Here's the thing, though. That presence there, he's lost Fox Hill twice before. If I can stand to be corrected, it may be more. He's lost it to just he's lost it to Johnny Ann Dorset, and then he's lost it to Chanel Ferguson. So Fox Hillians have left him before. That is why I see now the intensity coming out with him and Dr. Nicholas Fox.
So wait a minute,
he ain't gonna let no one roach on he bread.
But this is why I wanted you all, and I want people to understand this is organic, what you see happening, because I give them each week, listen, go and do your investigations, go and speak with people. So you are saying Fred Mitchell isn't sitting on the sidelines and saying, who is this dude and the shenanigans he up to?
Here's the thing, though. He, before with his competitors, you're a non-factor, you're an idiot, I'm not even going to pay it any mind. But you see now a different side of Fred Mitchell. At every point, even he got on the rally stage, Lord Fred, you cost the people, cost your cuss. The statesman gone left the window. And so this is showing us that Dr. Nicholas Fox now, like I said, minute by minute, Mitchell has met his match, because this is causing now that political animal maybe to resurface in a way that we've never seen it before. So the race for Fox Hill, Shanique, is heating up.
The most interesting race I feel that's going to continue to evolve this election season. Howard, you're muted. I think you're muted. Go ahead.
No, hello?
Go ahead, yes.
Yeah, so I think that Fred Mitchell does not have the personality of Dr. Fox. That is very clear.
Yeah.
And because he now has a worthy competitor, he is trying to do some of that. You know, I wish we had the picture with Mr. Mitchell on the big ninja bike. Although he was wearing church clothes and church shoes.
Let's show Fred and his personality.
You know, he was riding the bike. He's trying to do some of those things to make himself, you know, look a little lighter, right? But here's the thing. Even though Mr. Mitchell has been beat before, Fred Mitchell, and I'm not surprised that I'm cussing Gabby because Fred Mitchell was a firebrand earlier on in his political career.
He burned the Constitution.
Fred Mitchell has been in politics for over 35 years. And even though he's a controversial figure, I'm going to say this. There's an old adage, beware of an old man in a profession where men die young. Fred Mitchell has stood the test of time in politics because that is not only a testament to his longevity, but it is a testament to his political skill, like you said. And so Dr. Fox, as I know, will not rest on his laurel because Fred Mitchell is not going to be easy to beat. In that constituency, on Fred Mitchell, minute by minute, I have seen him monitoring repairs most recently and tree trimming at the Fox Hill Clinic. He's been inspecting drains. Several weeks ago, I saw him inspecting drains with a team. He's been attending church weddings and funerals in the constituency, like Peggy said. And there's a bulk waste removal program, a bulk waste disposal program that it appears that he is spearheading up there. And I also saw a list of Christmas events that are coming up. Fred Mitchell has a slew of events from Thanksgiving starting tomorrow and leading all the way up to through Christmas. And so you must give him credit. Mr. Mitchell is the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the PLP chairman. And somehow he finds time to still do all of these things.
I told you he's a political
Then final thing, the seven persons that I spoke to, two of those persons said that they didn't see Fred Mitchell, but they saw his team. So I believe that was because he either was out of the country on foreign affairs business or he was doing something as PLP chairman. But he's maintained the presence.
You all, so obviously this is truly a race. This is a race where everybody, but here it is. The incumbent is
big ninja bike.
That's big man on big things. And so this is a constituency where obviously the incumbent is not laying down and saying, okay, well let this guy have his time. No. The incumbent is working, has plans to move the Fox Hill constituency forward.
And showing some of his personality.
But that we don't get to see and haven't seen. And then there you have the Free National Movement's candidate who is just stirring the pot and throwing just sort of everything out there and making fun of it.
He's keeping him on his toes, and that's what we need.
And making fun of it. And so listen, you all, before these guys tell me, Shanique, wrap up, I want to ask you all this. Now, this is the all important. I have a temperature check question. So you all quickly. Where is Fox Hill leaning right now tonight? Is it leaning hard PLP, hard F&M, COI, independent, or too close to call?
Fox Hill tonight is too close to call between the Progressive Liberal Party and the Free National Movement. Too close to call.
But exciting to watch.
It is too close to call. It's definitely too close to call.
Wow. Now listen, before I truly have to wrap up, now you all know last week we had such a good time in South Beach. I forgot to ask that question. And so, ladies and gentlemen, in the South Beach constituency, as we discussed last night, is South Beach leaning hard PLP, hard F&M, and we're talking about right now, hard PLP, hard F&M, COI, independent, or too close to call?
PLP, in my opinion. I think the current MP is the one to beat. Bacchus Roll is the one to beat at this current time.
I think as of today's date.
Go ahead, Fred.
Oh, sorry.
No, talk.
Oh, no. I think as of today's date, it may be leaning PLP still.
Howard, as we watch Fred Mitchell get on this bike and just command this bike, go ahead.
Shanique.
Yes, I think the constituency of South Beach is definitely leaning PLP. I don't know about hard, but it is leaning PLP. And a word of advice to Fred Mitchell. Don't wear church shoes when you are releasing the clutch on that motorbike. You need some tennis.
You leave, Fred. Yeah, Fred, come on, try to do that.
Papa really fresh.
He was trying to be as spontaneous as his competitor. Remember the spontaneity, man, Howard.
Not so risky, though.
Listen, and they Gucci or what? They Gucci shoes or what? But the point is, leave this man alone.
And
Let
the cap
this man,
on.
Cap on and this shirt. Let this man handle this bike. You want something I say?
What a time.
I tell you what a time. And folks,
I got in the water and hold Shanique talking about handling bikes. I mean, what a night.
Listen, you all. I thank you all so much because
show.
this is exactly what Temperature Check will do. Whether we make light moments of it, but we are going to take a real candid look at each constituency each week. Now, we will take a break after the 17th of December. We will take a break until January. But listen, we're going to be as frank and as honest as we see it at that time. Some constituencies, of course, we will revisit, but we are here and we're going to go through all of them. And so get your act together for those of you who are still watching. I thank you all so much, Peggy Candace, Gabrielle, Mackenzie Eneas, and of course, Howard Johnson. Thank you as well. And a big thank you to all of you for tuning in this evening. It's been awesome having you along, and I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, my wonderful production team, I'm Shanique Miller. Thank you so much for watching. Make it a great evening, everyone.